So thank you for supporting this next generation of Indigenous lawyers, advocates, and scholars. And we're really privileged to have two of them here. And we'll be able to talk to them. I have a couple of questions for them. But Slam Dunkley is from the Nanacoke Lenape tribe. He came all the way out here from the East Coast, knew about our program. I remember recruiting him on the phone and how excited I was that he was going to come here. And then Shania Kee from the Navajo Reservation. Shania is also our Vine Deloria scholar. And so just really happy to have them here. They're struggling through first year. We're getting close to exams. They look remarkably relaxed, given that we're less than 2 weeks away from D-Day here, but it's gonna be A-Day for you guys. So let me talk to Slam first. Slam, why don't you talk to us a little bit from where you're from, your background, and what inspired you to go to law school, and particularly this law school?
Della Wincy, Slam Dunkley, Nati, Nanticoke, Lena, Lenape, Della Ba Wincy, Apokunamik, Lenape, Hogan. My name is Slam Dunkley. I'm Nanticoke, Lena, Lenape. I come from Odessa, Delaware, on the ancestral lands of the Lenape. And what motivated me to come to law school was to definitely push for my tribe's federal recognition, but more than that, the liberate Indigenous peoples from the systemic oppression of the US government. But also to fight for the rights of Indigenous people on a global scale as we try to fight the climate crisis. And the University of Arizona provided almost everything I needed, everything I need to fulfill that goal. And I have great faculty here to teach me everything I need. I have students like Shania in my classes that allows me to have conversations about common goals and common issues that our people face. So it's been a blessing and a dream to be here.
Thanks, Sam. Maybe talk a little bit about that fabulous event that you organized, the National Day of Mourning. What was that about? Let me first announce we've got 15,000 toward our $30,000 goal. So there's the chat. Make sure. And Justin Burrow, our assistant director, was able to post the link for that 20 Years Advocacy Conference. But Slam, talk a little bit about the National Day of Mourning, what that was about, and how you and NALSA were involved.
Yeah, so NALSA has done a lot of work this semester. I've had the opportunity, along with SB, she's from the Cherokee Nation, to be a 1L delegate on behalf of our 1L peers. And we've been, like I said, doing a lot of activities. So the Day of Mourning was a replica of what's been going on in Plymouth, Massachusetts since 1970. And they bring in Indigenous people from all over the world to speak on behalf of what their people are dealing with. Also to recognize the foundation of genocide that Thanksgiving represents. So I wanted to bring that event over to the University of Arizona in hopes of building it into something that's huge on the West Coast in the future. And this year was a great turnout. Me and SB were able to provide food. We had a march. We had students speak, practice our public speaking skills. We had representatives from the Tohono O'odham and the Yaqui Nation come out and speak to us about what their tribes are going through to continue to build that relationship. And it was a great event. And IPLP was gracious enough to fund the entire thing. So in terms of money, we didn't have to worry about any of that. We just focused on building the community.
Yeah, our philosophy here is if NALSA wants to do the work, we'll provide the funding. You guys are awesome. Thank you. That was just an awesome event. Let's see, Shania, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and what inspired you to come to the U of A?
Shania Kee and she has touched the initial key on the team right there. Excuse me, just to put me to Shelley. Big about done that na sha auto cut out the initial. Hi, I'm Shania. I'm a member of the Navajo Nation, and I'm from a place on the reservation, on the Navajo Reservation called Pinon, Arizona. And I kind of like worked after graduating college. I worked in my community as a librarian technician and with the youth of like my community. And it's really that inspired me to come to law school, just because I've seen like how like the law has affected everyone's lives. Like there's also like the Navajo Nation has a traditional fundamental law, and that like really inspired me to like get to know more about that. and I chose U of A because it allowed me to do that. There's the tribal governance program, there's like the law librarian fellow program. Like there's so many things that like I was attracted to, and that there's so much opportunities to get to know more about the law and how I can help my community.
Great. If anybody has any questions out there for Shania or for Slam or me, put them in our Q&A. But let's see. Oh, okay. You're my next. I'll go to you next, Shania. Tell us a little bit how the Huerta Scholar stipend helped you. How did you use your stipend when you came here?
Well, I was in shock when I got accepted, and I was like, oh, like, how do I get there? Because it's an 8-hour drive from like my town to here. So it really did help with like gas money to come here, like being able to put a security deposit down for like an apartment. So like it helped with like the little like things that I didn't realize like you had to do with like law.
Yeah, a lot of our alumni out there, they forget they're now making the big salaries with the big Indian law firms, and they don't remember how tough it is, and a couple grand can go a long way. How about you, Slam? How did the Huerta stipend help you get out here? You came a long way.
Yeah, super long. I knew when I got here I would need something to get me around. Definitely get to these cool trails. So I used it to ship my truck out here. And then I still had money left over. I got an air fryer. And
what do you cook in that air fryer? What do you cook in that air fryer?
Burgers, fries.
All right.
Vegetables.
Excellent. Slam, we'll go to you next. What do you want to do when you graduate? Here, hopefully with as little debt as possible, right?
Sure. I think one of my biggest goals is to make corporations face their corporate responsibility to Native American tribes and to all communities in America and outside of America. And then I really just want to make sure that the laws no longer affect Indigenous people, but intertwine our ancestral knowledge and environmental policies to continue to uplift our ways of thinking, our ways of living throughout the lifestyles of the American population, and to do that through the law. Great.
Well, great. We hope we're giving you the tools to do that. How about you, Shania? What do you want to do with your degree?
Well, I want to go back to my community. I want to go back to the Navajo Nation and be able to sort of strengthen the laws that are always have already combine like our traditional knowledge, like the fundamental law like that we have, which is kind of unique. And I think that in order to like get to that point where we rely more on that than like any other like legal system, I think that would be great to like be able to help accomplish like more with that.
Awesome. You think what kind of, are you thinking about a clinical placement next year, or you're going to wait for your third year?
I'm not too sure. I think like I've been interested in the international human rights clinic just because it's like also like really interesting to be able to learn more about other tribal systems or other like Indigenous legal like systems. I think that would be really cool to be able to like sort of have that knowledge.
Yeah. How about you, Slam? What type of clinical placement are you thinking about?
It's hard because there's so many options and so little time. The human rights one is definitely something to interest, and I don't know, there's so many. I think I might have to do some in the summer if that's possible.
Well, not to put too much influence on you, but I will tell you that our students, it's not unusual for our students in the International Human Rights Advocacy Workshop, which is run by Professor Howard, to accompany the Special Rapporteur on his missions. In fact, many of you know that Geneva Parks is in the workshop, and she'll be accompanying the Special Rapporteur on his trip, I think, to Costa Rica. I just solved the travel authorization form. And a number of our students have been able to go to Geneva at the UN and accompany the Special Rapporteur. I think Susan Phelan went with Francisco up to the Arctic Circle. So if you'd like to travel, that's the clinic to get into. So anyway, hey, I want to thank both of you guys. I know it's a busy time of the year. I can tell you're all thinking about contracts while you're talking, and torts, and what's the what is it, negligence, the elements for negligence. So I know you got to get back to your studies, but thank you for taking out the time. And again, thank you for being such active members of our NALSA community and being student leaders and just being here at the U of A and contributing to our community. So that's it. Let's see, unless anyone has any Q&A, I want to thank everyone here who tuned in. I want to thank our supporters. We're well on our way to meeting our goal. We've already admitted the first several Native students for next year's class. I think we've already admitted 4 Native students, and we're doing that earlier and earlier. The great thing is we're increasing our applicant pool as more of our students graduate and our alumni. The alumni, and for both of you, Shania and Slam, we rely on you guys, word of mouth. You can put out all the stuff on Twitter you want or Facebook, but nothing helps like having students who are here tell you this is the place that you want to go. So that'll be your role in the upcoming years, is recruiting for us and giving back to the Huerta campaign. I always let all of you know that, we'll be calling when you guys graduate. So anyway, I want to thank Justin Burrow. I want to thank our development office and Karina Eklund for organizing this event. Thank you, Francisco, for your willingness to participate. The amount of communications and issues he works on, it just shows you his support for a program and our students, and he was able to take out the time. So again, thank you for joining us on Giving Tuesday, and also stay safe and well. Wear those masks, okay, and get yourself vaccinated, everybody out there. So thank you, and have a great year and successful year finishing this one out. We'll all look forward to next year.